pals! Welcome to day 2 of VLAUGUST. I asked my friends and family on Facebook and Instagram for topics to talk about this week, and I'm going to go through all of the questions that I received from both of those platforms. Request number 1 for Miriam, braids. Request number 2 for Emily, hats. Request number 3 from Mary, using the blinker. I mean, let's be real. We have so many things to focus on when we're driving the car, and using the blinker is really just one more distraction that we don't need. I mean, you have to move your fingers like an inch to the left to try and turn it on. I mean, can't everyone just read everyone's mind? Obviously, that's a joke. How hard is it to use a blinker? My sister Alexis requested that I talk about the importance of ocean conservation. Ocean conservation is important. Ryan asked for me to talk about the marble thing in San Antonio. Back in December of last year, early January maybe, Jordan joined a group on Facebook called Esferas Perdidas. Sorry, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a group of artists and cultural enthusiasts who hide marbles, either very small marbles or very large marbles, around San Antonio. And they do what they call hunts. So someone will go and lose a marble out somewhere, take a picture of the area, and then people have to try to figure out where it is and then go find it. It's like a treasure hunt, and it's really blown up since they got some press in the local papers and news. And some of that's good, and some of it is a little tough because people are kind of trampling landscapes, which is not good for the businesses that are being affected or the environment that's being affected. But a lot of families are getting into it, and it's a really great way for people to get outside, do something active and interesting instead of just their normal, mundane, everyday monotony. We've now amassed a decent collection of marbles, and the trick is to figure out how to display them. Some people pile little like washers and put them on them, and Jordan has started carving marble stands out of wood. He makes some really, really cute skulls, cute skulls, I know, and other small stands, and he started selling them. It's a really cool hobby, and he's meeting new people, and it's been so, so awesome. If you are interested in a carved stand for a marble, let me know, and I'll pass the word along. Cheryl asked how I got over my fear of living with cats. I'm not sure it was necessarily a fear of living with cats in particular, but mostly a fear of being solely responsible for an animal that I had no experience taking care of. I had a little snafu with adopting a cat and having a minor panic attack about whether or not the cat was going to be comfortable in my apartment and whether I was going to be able to take care of it. I needed someone else to teach me how to take care of these animals in order for me to love them well and not be so scared all the time of them hurting themselves or hurting me. Obviously, Jordan had cats when I met him, and for the period of time that we were dating but not living together, I got to interact with them in his apartment and kind of set a foundation for caring for them and knowing their needs and wants. Now that I live with them, I've learned even more because he's so great about teaching me what to do and not just being frustrated that I don't know. Now that I understand them, I love them so much, and I can take care of them, and I can notice when something's wrong, which is really important. Shelly wanted some book talk, so I'm going to show you the last 2 books I read and tell you about the next 2 books on my list. I am fairly obsessed with the author Rainbow Rowell, and I finished her book Attachments about a week ago. It's about the complexities of some young adults in the workplace and what they go through with marriages and friendships and trying to find their career passions, and it's so witty and interesting. It was an excellent read. I highly recommend it. Rounding out my Rainbow Rowell obsession, I am now reading her latest book, Landline, that came out a couple of weeks ago. It's about a woman who is a TV writer and is struggling in her marriage. She picks up the old telephone in her childhood bedroom and tries to call her husband, and instead of getting him on the phone in present day, she gets him on the phone about 15 years prior. It has a more mature and very serious undertone, but it's refreshing because the books that I've read of hers have kind of gone chronologically in order of age, and I just think her progression of writing is fascinating. So I highly recommend this as well. The next book on my to-be-read list is Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal. I don't know. Apparently, this is like Jane Austen with magic, so obviously. And lastly, The Selected Works of T.S. Spivet by Reef Larson. This was on the NPR Summer Reads list, and I thought it looked magnificent. It is about a 10 or 12-year-old cartographer, and it's got all kinds of pictures and maps, and the dialogue looks really interesting, so I am very excited to read this next as well. What's that? What's that? Don't eat my hat, Louie. And last but not least, my friend Joanna requested sock puppet theater, and instead I said, what about cat theater? So, are you ready to act? Are you such a movie kitty? Are you a movie cat? Yes. Mwah. Do you want to say your lines? Or do you have stage fright? To be or not to be? That is the question. That's all I got for this day 2 of Vlogust. Stay tuned for the rest of the week for more to come. As always, love yourself, love your pals, and hold on to your butts.